Good to see you, brother.
Mitchell.
Good to see you, man.
Pablo Villagrana, President Business Agent, 155. Ironworkers.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
Mitchell.
That's right.
Take care, Chris. Good, Chris.
Hey, Chris, thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Let's give a few seconds.
Did you know the mayor of Delano is here? Okay.
They said I was second for this one. Pablo Villagrana. Mitchell, everything you guys are doing.
Are we ready? Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to Kern County. I am Vice Chair of the Kern County Board, Supervisor Leticia Perez. So delighted to have the governor and all of you back here in Kern County. Last year we had the opportunity to do some work, Governor, if you recall, and it is wonderful to be joined today by the real workers, the families that are enjoying mortgage-paying wages as a result of this incredible evolution in transportation. It is very clear two things about Governor Gavin Newsom. He is absolutely committed to the Central Valley. I have lost count of the amount of times he has been here personally with his team, with his passion, and with his synergy to promote this project and the kind of projects that we know support working families and support the evolution of Kern County, the great state of California, and frankly, the nation. So I want to say thank you to our illustrious governor. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your devotion to working families, for your passion for this project, and frankly, for your visionary leadership. You are a visionary. You think big, and you are fearless. That has been demonstrated time and time again. I'm happy to see that be recognized on the global scale. Because in this business, you've got to bring real muscle, real synergy, real resources to move projects. It's just the truth. So I want to say thank you to you. I want to say welcome to all of you. It's exciting to be back joining the governor's team in the Central Valley. It's exciting to be around these big thinkers, forward thinkers about the present and the future. It's a great day in Kern County. Thank you, and God bless you, Governor. I'd like to also now, as Vice Chair, welcome the Vice Mayor of Bakersfield, Manpreet Kaur, to say a few words. You're very welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manpreet Kaur. I have the honor of having so many friends in the room today, but as the largest metropolis in the Kern County region, the 9th largest state in the state of California, we welcome you and we congratulate you today on the progress that we're making here today to connect California. As a city planner, it's my job to say that infrastructure isn't just a road. It's not just a sidewalk. It's not just pavement that we're laying down. It's not just a train track. Infrastructure offers us abundance. And today, this infrastructure is offering California that abundance. It's an abundance that is going to be new energy to our Kern County, to our city of Bakersfield, to the Shafters, the Arvins, the Wascos of our great state. And it's a proud moment to see that the high-speed rail is being laid right here in the valley of our great state by the governor. Here in the Central Valley, in our southern Central Valley, we're a people of both grit and hope. We have enough grit to be the union workforce that's going to lay the tracks, while also in those same households having the children that are going to take this same train, take this high-speed rail to new universities, to new jobs, and bring those great ideas back to places like the city of Bakersfield, the city of Shafter, the city of Wasco, and so forth, so that our state remains connected, remains in abundance. And I think of myself, my younger self even, dreaming of mostly defending the Central Valley when I was either away for college But what a great opportunity even for my students at Cal State Bakersfield, who will now be connected to those new jobs that this rail promises them and keeps them. You know, we want to keep our Central Valley talent local, but we want them to go and dream big, and this rail offers them to dream big. And so, as the Vice Mayor of the City of Bakersfield, on behalf of the City of Bakersfield, I thank you, Governor, for dreaming big for all of us. California is being watched by the world, and we are setting the tone globally. And it's so important. Every single moment that is being forged here for California history will be replicated and remembered across the nation and across the globe. So I thank our governor, I thank our leadership, I thank the folks who are going to lay these tracks. And with that, speaking about the folks who are putting the labor of love into this project, it's my honor now to introduce the president of our State Building and Construction Trades Council, Chris Hannon.
Thank you so much, Vice Mayor. On behalf of the State Building and Construction Trades Council of California, our affiliated local unions, and the nearly 450,000 members that they represent across the state, I'm proud to be out here with our Governor Gavin Newsom, and CEO Choudri, who are staunch supporters of not only this high-speed rail project, not only supportive of our membership, but of the Central Valley. This is a generational project. This project is going to change how future generations move about our state. We're super excited how our kids are going to be able to move effortlessly across our state. We're excited to not only build out this entire high-speed rail line, but soon in the state of California, we'll have 3 high-speed rail lines under construction at the same time. The amount of additional investment and economic opportunities our state is going to see because of the California high-speed rail is tremendous. It's tremendous for our membership. Over 16,000 union members have already worked on California high-speed rail, averaging between 1,500 and 1,700 per day. We're going to continue that all across the state of California. In addition to all the additional economic activity that this brings to the state of California, we're going to have many times more jobs. So on behalf of every one of those apprentices who has a bright future in front of them today because of the state's investment, not only here in the Central Valley, but in the entire high-speed rail line, we're excited for the future. And I'm going to call up Jesus Castaneda, Business Manager of Ironworkers, Local 155, to tell you what it's like to work on the project.
Thank you, Mr. Hannon. Thank you all for being here. My name is Jesus Castaneda, speaking as the Business Manager of Ironworkers Local 155, serving the Central Valley. We're not just here to talk about the high-speed rail, because our members are building it right now. They're placing steel and setting structures, turning what was an idea into something you can see rising out of the ground across the valley. For our communities, this project means real careers, not temporary work. Pathways through apprenticeships into the middle class. It means local workers supporting local businesses. It means our young people don't have to leave home for opportunities. California high-speed rail is also about the future of infrastructure in this country. It's about moving people faster and cleaner, reducing congestion, and investing in systems that will serve our kids and grandkids. We're proud to be building this project, and we're ready to keep going. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Secretary Omashakin.
A very good afternoon, everybody. I want to start exactly right there where Jesus left off, in thanking all the workers who are working on this incredible project. The iron workers, carpenters, steel workers, everybody who's working on this project. The women and men that you see in orange standing up here, and in the audience, please give them a hand for all the incredible work. Thank you so much for all the work that you do. We're up to, on this project, nearly 17,000 jobs created. Nearly 17,000 jobs. More than 1,700 people roughly come to work on this project every single day. And a lot of that is happening because of the leadership of our governor. Let me tell you that I think most of you here know, roughly a year ago, the governor was here, getting this project started way on the other end, back on the other end. And the team here promised that in less than a year, this project we'll be celebrating this, and here we are doing exactly that. So he was here for the groundbreaking, he's here for the ribbon cutting. So that's a signal of commitment. That's a sign of commitment to this project. You know, when you think about construction projects, you think about sometimes trenches. Trenches have to be dug to get construction projects going. But not only do you have these physical trenches out here, you have the political trenches sometimes that you have to fight within. And this project has had many. They're noted. They're very well noted. This governor, if not for his leadership and his push, we were about 4 years roughly away. We would be 4 years away from having all the dedicated funding for this project disappear, come to an end through cap and trade. He proposed cap and invest. We now have a commitment for 20 years for this project. He's probably going to talk about that. Instead of 4 years, we're now at 20. That's the only way this project is going to be able to happen, is to have that consistent, dedicated funding coming in every year to support these women and men who are doing this work. So, Governor, major kudos. Thank you for your commitment and belief in transportation and in this project. Thank you so much. Look, it's well noted the challenges that this project has had. But if somebody would say, how would you describe it today in 2 words, I would say significant progress, especially over the last 3 or 4 years. You know, the environmental document, which is a big part of the challenge that always comes up. 494 miles is the entire length from the bay all the way down to Anaheim. We're 90% plus done. 90% plus done on the environmental document. When it comes to the viaducts and bridges that are going to be needed on this project, 60% of them, of those bridges, we're done. We're done with building those. So to the naysayers out there who are saying nothing's happening, just come out here to the valley. Come out here to the valley and see what is happening on this project. It is coming to life. The right-of-way, 99% of the right-of-way that's needed for this project acquired and done. So we're on the path to getting this project delivered and open for the people of the Central Valley and, of course, across the state, hopefully by the year 2033. Is that right, Ian? By the year 2033. That's right. So to Ian and the team, the board chair, everybody who's here, all the staff, high-speed rail staff, if you don't mind, raise your hand. Staff everywhere. Thank you guys for everything that you're doing. Tollefson, yeah, thank you. I appreciate all your hard work. And I'll close with this. I just bragged a lot about our great governor, but he has some really, really smart people who are making him look good, who are working beside him. His cabinet secretary, Nani Coloradi and Trey, they're both here, and many other members of his staff. Thank you very much for all that you do. So with that, I want to have the CEO of this project come up, this huge project that we're all committed to and working on. Please give a welcome to Ian Choudri. Ian.
Thank you, Secretary Omashakin. What you see behind here is not a concept, is not a plan. It is physically here now. That's what we said. There will be a day we'll be launching track laying that starts from here. This is done. That was the promise we made when the governor was here, January of 2025. When we drove the spike in and we said we're going to get it done by October. We were done in October. So here we are. What's the importance of this? Track installation at this railhead is important for us to continue, start laying tracks from here all the way into Merced, and then going all the way into Bakersfield. That is the importance of this location where we are. This moment didn't happen overnight. We know there was a lot of hard work that went into make this happen with our partners. It was a very disciplined approach that we put in place. We were conscious about the time, the cost. That's what's the new day at the authority. That's what we do. Over the past year, the authority has focused on execution. So we did the streamlining, we put the new organization, we devised new strategies how to do it faster and more economically. We did that. The fundamental change that happened, which was never there from the beginning of this program, that Governor Newsom helped us and got it done for us, was the funding. This program was never on stable grounds when it came to funding. That got stabilized thanks to the governor, and thank you for that. This was a major effort for us, and this program suffered on stop and go, and thank you so much for getting that done for us. Now we are in discussions with private sector, and they are interested in investing to take that funding backstop, and then they can invest in financing against it to build it even faster. So what's going to happen? We got now $1 billion through 2045. It allows us now to plan further. How do we finish what we promised, Merced, Bakersfield, and then do all other things that we need to do to connect LA to San Francisco. At the same time, we also put some clarity around the cost and schedule. Well, once the funding got stabilized, then it was our duty to talk about cost and schedule, how to stabilize that. We released that in our plans mid last year, and then we're going to be releasing a new plan coming up in February. This work identified significant efficiencies. What we went through last year, it signifies what was the opportunities available to us and what it resulted up to now, unlocking nearly 15 billion in projected savings on the program. That is the new Merced to Bakersfield connectivity that we are doing. We did that being conscious about every dollar matters, and we said we're going to make sure we are investing it smartly and at the right time, and not overbuilt and not underbuilt. And that's what we did. And the results are here. This past year, we took action on procurement, which we promised to everyone we are going to do. We advanced the largest track and electrified system procurement in the history of the US. That's on the street now. We also promised that we are going to purchase all the commoditized material and deliver it in this yard while we place the order for rail. That will be arriving soon. We will have concrete ties. This yard will be full of workers come this year. What happens? You will have hundreds of people working here doing welding to rail, transporting these materials out there to the field. There will be workers who will be doing fiber optic cable connections and so on. There will be a lot of activity will happen in this place by May, June of this year. And just watch how this thing is going to turn into something completely different what you see today. 17,000 jobs we were talking about, and Secretary mentioned that. Well, if you're doing Palmdale and in LA and San Francisco and here, all at the same time, we are looking at about 80 to 85,000 jobs that people will be engaged in. Let's talk about what lies ahead. So this is the foundation of what we want to get done. We got it done. This year and in the next year, facilities like this will start receiving material. Second, more of the Central Valley will become rail ready. I mean, we have about 119 miles to finish. 80 miles is already done. We are going to start laying tracks on that this year. So that's the progress. The third thing that we did, we also said to ourselves, we need to move from planning partnerships and put everyone to work to get this as fast as we can build. Over the next year, this year and next year, we'll begin transitioning industry engagement into real delivery roles, bringing private expertise into how projects are built. Then we will continue converting policy progress. We still have some work to do there into cost and schedule certainty. What does it mean to us is like some of the policy progress that we want to make. It helps stabilizing the program again on cost and schedule. There are some changes that we are asking. We need some clear decisions on that. Finally, the program will move closer to the people it was meant to be, connecting all ends of California from Bay Area all the way into LA, and then phase 2, which goes to San Diego and Sacramento. That's the program. That's what is defined in the law, so that's what we're going to deliver. Today, this project is not just about potential. Ask my team, they will tell you that. It's all about execution and keep building. With that, just see it. It's happening here. It is not something on a paper. You can see that this work was done in less than 9 months. So with that, I thank Governor again. Governor, I have something to tell you. One of my colleagues who was there last time when we drove the nail, Bill Grimsby, he heard you saying Golden Spike.
Well, yeah. Can't just
So-
say Trump getting things in gold.
And so he prepared a present for you, which was the spike that we drove that day.
Oh,
He brought it in.
Let me
So
see.
Bill, come on in.
There's it better be in gold. Solid damn gold. I saw gold prices too. This may be worse than that. I love it. That's great. That's not real. Jesus, all right.
Thank you. What do you think?
I don't know, man. That looks great, bro.
It's crayon.
That's awesome. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. Thank you. You can put it somewhere. Good enough. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much,
appreciate it.
Governor.
You done it?
With that, I would like to invite Governor Newsom now, our leader.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Well, let me just build on what everybody said. But first of all, just thank all of you for being assembled here today. And it's good to be back here just a few months from where we last made commitments on this project. Let me just acknowledge the supervisor. Thank you for your passion and action. Thank you for being here. And thank you for always being steady hand in terms of your advocacy on behalf, not only folks that you represent, but folks all across this country, not just in the state of California, looking to see that this is a successful project. Madam Vice Mayor, thank you for your comments and your steadfast support as well to Chris and his team and remarkable men and women of labor. Thank you to all of you for keeping the faith in this process and for being here for not only yourselves, but for each other. As has been noted, depending on the day of the week, we estimate anywhere from 16,400 to 17,000 people have had the privilege of being part of this project. And I love what the supervisor said when she opened up. She said these are mortgage-paying jobs. These are not just jobs. They're not $7.25 an hour jobs that would be the case in many other states. 20 states, by the way, have $7.25 minimum wage. Talk about caring about your workforce. These are real jobs. These are family-sustaining wages, and we're proud of that. And every day, and as Chris and Toke said, every day, upwards of 1,700 people are going to work on this project, which is remarkable. And now we're going to see the fruits of years and years of hard work take shape. This is the phase everybody's been waiting for. This is the phase, it's the proof point. Can't believe what you can't see? Well, you're about to see a lot. If you've missed the 58 large structures that have been built, I don't know how that's possible, but depends what network you watch. They apparently have disappeared, or at least their minds have been erased. But folks up here know where those projects are. There's 29 other large-scale projects that are under construction in 4 critical counties in this state. We care about those counties. We care about folks in Fresno and Kings and Tulare. We care about folks all across the Central Valley. It's one thing to talk about caring about folks. It's another to actually deliver on real projects. You want to be big, you got to be big in big things. This is the only high-speed rail system of its type anywhere in the United States of America. You could talk all you want. You guys are actually delivering, making things happen. As Ian just said, 80 miles of guideway is already prepared to lay that track, that first 119 miles. That is funded, fully funded in this phase. We've got this site now all prepped and ready to go. We've got these 6 lines that are coming in, connecting the ability to bring all these materials together and to bring hundreds and hundreds of workers here together, revitalizing the community. I was just down in Shafter, down walking Main Street. We're down a few grocery stores. I can't imagine people coming back here, that energy. You care about Main Street, you care about this project. You care about rural parts of this country. You care about this project. This is not just a transportation project. This is about reimagining the future of this region, one of the fastest and most dynamic regions, fastest growing in the state of California. It's a point of pride, and it's also about pride. It's also about spirit. It's not just about connecting people, as was said, as important as that is. It's about respect. You want to be connected and respected. And that's why you deserve this project. That's why we fought so hard for this project. That's why we fought back against some folks, that had the audacity, folks that I admire mostly, but that said, well, all it is out here is tumbleweeds. Said that. We're fighting against that kind of cynicism, that kind of naivete. I don't mean to indict folks that talk like that, but don't talk down to people, don't talk past people, don't talk about community that you don't know much about. And so I just want to acknowledge all the folks living out here. You deserve this. And so it's just sort of expressing why I've been a little more intense and passionate about this. When I took over and got that baton passed to me by the previous administration, my first visits, the first day I was in office, was in the Central Valley. I said, I'll keep coming back over and over. You don't have to vote for me. You don't have to, care about me. I'm just going to prove you wrong that I don't care. I do care. And I have your back, and I want to keep coming back. So I acknowledge that. And this was a cornerstone of that commitment. And that's why I'm grateful as well to the legislature broadly, because the key to this project was stabilizing the financial commitment. And that was noted a moment ago. So now you have 20 years, got the ability, 20 years, $1 billion minimum, $1 billion a year now, come from the state, from the Cap and Invest program through 2045. That changes the dynamic when you have certainty every single year. All of a sudden now you can be a little more creative as it relates to financing opportunities, the private partnerships that can present themselves anew, because they couldn't count on that in the past. They certainly can't count on this current administration in Washington, D.C. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They talk about building middle-class jobs. They talk about blue-collar work. They talk about backbone of America being in rural America, and yet they're abandoning this project. They took $4 billion from you that the other administration legally appropriated. This took it. Gave you the middle finger, every single one of you. They don't give a damn. The good news is only 17% of this project so far has been federally funded. We're doing the hard work. State of California making that commitment. We're not going to turn our back to you. We're going to have your back. We're going to keep coming back. So he's temporary. He's temporary. That's just a couple years. Go by in a flash. By the time he's out, we'll have substantially completed this rail line. I'm looking forward to that moment, to celebrate multiple milestones as it relates to the future of the Central Valley and the future of the world. I'm sorry. You love all these for different reasons, but I love folks, in Washington, D.C. for different reasons, but not for this. And I want you to know this is part of the largest infrastructure investments in California history, because people just don't know this. I don't know why they don't know it. We say it every damn week. Heck, I even put a website together to stress test and prove it to you. It's called build.ca.gov. Please check it out. Build.ca.gov. $180 billion is being invested in the state. It's most since the Pat Brown days. Everyone talks about the good old days in California. Well, they're here again in California today. The largest infrastructure investments in roads and bridges that this state has ever made, happening in real time. And you can go on that site and see exactly where those projects are, what the funding streams look like, where they are in terms of time to delivery. And speaking of time to delivery, I'm very proud, and I appreciate the acknowledgement from Ian Tokes, that the legislature working together this year also looked at some reforms in partnership with Chris and his teams, not doing things to working folks in labor, working with you, doing CEQA reforms for stations, for CEQA reforms for large infrastructure investments around the high-speed rail system. That's now done. Can't make up for the last 30 years, 20, but that just got done. And so that allows us, in that abundance mindset, to have more confidence moving forward, and that should invite, again, more investment from the outside as well. So, look, I can go on and on, but I just want you to know we're committed to this project. We're not interested in it. Interested people find excuses. Committed people find ways of getting things done. That's what makes California special, makes us great. The future happens here first. where America's coming to traction. And when this thing is moving and it's happening and you're not taking off your damn shoes and you're not having to show your real ID and you're just hopping on, you know, eat your heart out, Texas, that abandoned their high-speed rail project. By the way, that project that was announced a year after this one, $50 billion. They just pulled the plug on it last year. Why the hell wasn't that a headline? They couldn't get anything done there. Big red state of Texas. Supposed to show us how to do it. They couldn't get a damn thing done. And here you are making progress. I'm just saying. Facts are stubborn things. And we need to be a little bit more assertive in sharing those facts. We're humble, not naive about everything in the rear view mirror. But looking forward, out that windshield, seems a lot brighter. And that path, guided by all your hard work and stewardship, seems a hell of a lot more certain. Final words, because it's important to reinforce this. 119 miles, then we get to the 171. That's Merced to Bakersfield, two of the most dynamic and spectacular cities in our state. And then we extend further south, further north, and then further west. Get into Central Valley, connecting the Silicon Valley, opportunities that already have taken shape because of your work. Caltrans has already finished that work, Caltrans, as it relates to the electrification into San Francisco. That was part of the high-speed rail project. That was a commitment, and that is a checklist. It's done. And the electrification work that is there. All of a sudden, we're knitting together the fourth largest economy in the world, the vibrancy, the energy, and the daring that is taking shape in this state, that needs to take shape in every part of our state, not just in some parts of our state. 463 miles ready for construction, 100% environmentally cleared, as Toke said, out of 494. We're there. We're on the other side of the hardest part of this project. And that's why today is so important. So congratulations, Ian. Congratulations to members of the High-Speed Rail Board that are here. Congratulations to those that believe and those that continue to do the hard work. You're not just folks holding hands. You know, as you say in church every Sunday, as we pray, we move our feet. And we are moving not just dirt today, we're moving materials, we're moving supplies, and we're moving this project forward. Thank you guys, all of you, for being out here today. With that, are we done? Oh, then we'll ask questions later. We'll do that.
Sorry, thank you.